but to be expected. I showed you Trevor Hoffman save number 100 just a short time ago. Here's save number 300, August 15, 2001 against the Mets. Mike Darr makes the catch for the final out. Mike's wife Natalie here today. You see the crowd here at Petco Park. And the fans here who are in attendance, and I'm sure those of you who are watching on Channel 4, never going to forget this day in that ceremony.
You know, so many things stick out in my mind, but the one thing that really sticks out is when Trevor was addressing the crowd and he turned to his three boys and addressed the three boys about how the clubhouse is sacred, how the field is sacred. You respect that, and how they compose themselves and how they handle themselves around the guys. And that's what Mr. and Mrs. Hoffman taught Trevor and his two brothers when they were growing up. It was very emotional for me. And just what it was to be a teammate. It's not about yourself, it's about your teammates. And that's what Trevor is all about.
You're not human if you couldn't feel the connection of the Hoffman family here today, and the way it concluded with his late father. The tape of the national anthem he sung at Fenway Park in 1981, wrapping up the day. Just powerful, powerful stuff.
Yeah.
His dad, Ed. Hey, Glenn Hoffman made that possible for Ed to sing the national anthem that day. Let's get to the lineup, brought to you by the Prize Patrol, presented by Jerome's Furniture. Text winning to 269-411 to enter for the Fish. Bonifacio leads off, Infante, Mike Stanton in the 3-hole. Jose Lopez hitting cleanup. He has hit very well in this series. He has 6 hits over the last 3 games here. He played third base, followed by Mike Cameron, who was a part of the ceremony. Sanchez, Peterson, Hayes catching, and Sanchez the pitcher. Padres starting pitching profiles brought to you by your San Diego County Cadillac dealer. You can stop in today for an attractive lease or purchase offer. Corey Lukey, the numbers that really jump off the page there for me. Look at the hits to innings pitched.
Unbelievable. He is getting better and better with each outing as a big league starter. This guy is going to be a good one for a long time. And if there was a motto for today's game, no letting up. Do not let up against these guys. Corey Lukey have a nice quick first inning and go to Hacken in the Padre bottom half of the first inning. Get on that scoreboard early. In fact, for Corey Lukey, the last 3 starts mark nearly 2-0 record with an ERA of 2. He has kept the ball in the yard his last 6 starts. Stay hot.
Here's the defense behind Lukey today. Blanks in left. Cameron, Maben in center. Venable in right. Forsythe, Bartlett, Hudson, Guzman on the infield with Hundley catching. All right, we are ready to go baseball-wise. Emilio Bonifacio steps in, the switch hitter batting right-handed, and we are underway.
How appropriate is that? Game time, 1:51.
That's eerie almost.
Is it 51 degrees?
That's warmer than that. 71 degrees
70
at game time. Just clicking over to 52.
Yeah.
2-0 pitch. There's a strike from Lukey.
Ted Leitner did a great job.
Very nice.
Outstanding as always.
Bonifacio at 284. Hitless in this series, 0 for 10. Been on base with a couple of walks and has knocked in a run. Two on Bonifacio leading off the game. Back to the mound, speared by Lukey. One down in the Marlins first inning.
The Buckeye is an athlete. Always in a good fielding position. You know, he throws firm. He's got that fuzz at 93. Can get up to 94-ish, but yet finishes up squarely to home plate to field his position nicely.
Marlins second baseman Omar Infante came off the disabled list yesterday after fracturing his right middle finger on August 4th in a game against the Cardinals. Fouled straight back, 0-2.
You know, Corey Lutke, this kid's like a piranha. He is going for the kill, and he's not letting up until he gets the guy out. He gets that rock, gets on that hill, fires downhill, fastball, breaking ball. Here it is, dude. See how far you can hit it.
Line to third, caught by Forsythe.
A lot of people were going through their Chester drawers, I'll bet, and they had tickets to this ball game looking for those Trevor Hoffman t-shirts that have been given away in the past. Well represented this afternoon.
Right fielder Mike Stanton takes a high strike. It's outside, a ball and a strike. .29 homers for Stanton, just one off the NL League lead, which is owned by Pujols, and that's high in the air to left. He got under it just a bit, and Blinks under it. Down in order go the Marlins in the first, and the Padres are coming up. Bottom of the first, here's the Padre lineup presented by Ashford University's Homers for Heroes. If any Padre in today's lineup hits a home run, Ashford donates $2,500 to Operation Homefront. Blinks been hot, .345 average in his last 8. Home runs his last 2 games for Blinks. Venable leads off the Padre first. Jumps back from a ball inside. Venable, Bartlett, and Maben in the Padre first inning.
I'm sure the ceremony was also very emotional for the players in uniform in that Padre and Florida Marlin dugout.
To right, near the short porch, and Will Venable continuing this magical day with a leadoff home run. Fifth homer of the year. He led off the game at Fenway Park with a home run. He does it again today on Trevor Day.
And what do you know? The Florida Marlins once again giving up a first inning run. Great extension by Will Venable, going the short way, just beyond the porch. And the Friars are on the board. And once again, another mistake thrown by Sanchez. And Will Venable all over it. He wanted that pitch on the inside part of the plate. Will got great extension and sent it out of here.
And once again, the Padres score in the first inning against the Marlins. They've scored in the first in every game they played against the Marlins this year, and won all of them to this point as well. Breaky ball from Sanchez down low. Bartlett with an RBI last night as the Padres scored 14.
What was the one thing that stuck out for you, Mark Neely? I know that's kind of a trick question because everything was just done flawlessly, but is there one thing that really sticks out?
Well, there's just so much that went on there.
Mine would have to be his father, Ed, singing the national anthem.
The way it ended, yes. Popped in the air, shallow right center field. Stanton shading his eyes. He's battling. He makes the catch.
Well, right-handed starter Anibal Sanchez, a 7-6 record. Last time out, he really pitched well in the environs of Coors Field at Colorado. 8 innings, 5 hits, 3 earned runs, a pretty good outing. He's good for about 105, 110 pitches. Twirls a fastball, slider, changeup, and a curve. Low to mid-90s for the right-hander.
One out for center fielder Cameron Maben. By the way, the leadoff home run for Venable here in the first, the 5th time this year the Padres have led off the game on a home run, and the 3rd time for Venable. He had the game at Fenway in June, but July 20th at Florida also began the game with a home run. Three-hit game last night for Cameron Maben. A good night for the Padres center fielder, probably only outshined by Nick Hundley's 4-for-4 game. Maben enters today with an 8-game hitting streak.
I think the only way to cap off this tremendous day here at Petco Park would be to
sweep the series.
Sweep the Florida Marlins.
Full count.
Marlins very vulnerable right now. We documented it earlier in the series, giving them a lot of first inning runs. 2-8 their last 10 games. They've lost 4 in a row.
And 14 of 16 they've dropped. Maben given time by the plate umpire Dan Bellino. They asked for the appeal. The first base umpire, Tony Randazzo, says he held up, so it's a walk to Cameron Maben. Here's the Marlins defense brought to you by North County GMC, a Southern California tradition for over 20 years. Former Padre Mike Cameron in center, Stanton and Peterson in the outfield, and on the infield, Lopez, Bonifacio, Infante, and Gabby Sanchez. Hayes doing the catching with John Buck out of the lineup today for Florida. Guzman, right field. Stanton does not appear to be having as much difficulty with the sun this time around. It makes the catch and then fires back to first. Trying to surprise Maben. It's a foul ball that actually hit one of the cameras for the visiting television broadcast going back to South Florida and broke the camera.
Wow. Yeah, that's Greg Lilly, our good friend down there doing the visiting show. He does a fine job. And he's, you know what? Hey, the show must go on, right?
I didn't know a camera would continue to work, though, with that front lens busted, but
I think
guess it can.
I think that broke because Greg's looking through it. How much is that lens, you think?
Things in TV have a
$5
tendency
grand?
to be a lot
$8
more
grand?
expensive than you think, yeah. At least 4 figures, be my guess.
Absolutely.
Think about the only thing that costs less than $1 grand in TV is the duct tape.
You got that right.
Yeah.
Hey, since the Padres did put up a point in this bottom half of the first, overall this season, the Florida Marlins have now allowed opponents to score in the first inning 50 times.
And this is their 127th game.
We just got word from the truck. Am I reading this correctly? A lens? $80,000.
Maben on the run. The pitch fouled back and out of play. You may have to skip a few lunches, kind of make up the difference for the visiting TV show.
And I heard the cameraman is responsible for paying that bill.
Well, let's listen. You'll hear the lens actually breaking.
Wow. I put it to you, Greg.
0-2 pitch. This is inside.
Nice to see the Padres get the pitch count up also for Sanchez. Remember, the 2-out rally last night. 2 strikeouts from Clay Hensley, and then the floodgates opened.
Well, the Padre offense was rolling last night. It got ugly for the Marlins. So ugly that decorum prohibits us from laying it out right here. A rope in the right. Stanton cuts it off quickly. Down to second goes Maben.
I think these Padres went to bed last night. You know how, night before Christmas, they have visions of sugar plums, right? I think these Padre hitters have visions of long balls and extra base hits. Look at the 88 train going down the tracks.
He and Odog went back-to-back in the first inning last night. Kyle has homered at each of the last 2 games of the series, and Randy St. Clair, the Marlins pitching coach, is going to make a first inning trip to the mound.
That's not a good sign. First inning visit from the coach. But think about it. If you're a Padre hitter, if you're a Padre player right now, after a game you win, you want to get back to that ballpark as soon as you can, right? With the way the mojo's going now and the way the momentum is carrying on.
I'm sure the home runs the last 2 nights for Kyle Blanks may be part of the topic for pitching coach Randy St. Clair there. Don't let this guy turn on one. Two on, 2 outs. A run in on the leadoff home run by Venable. Ball 1 runs inside from Anibal Sanchez. Kyle in the series 4 out of 11. Has 2 homers and 4 RBIs.
I think they're trying to pound him in.
Crowding him again.
I think that's by design. Sanchez just can't find that inner part of the plate for a strike. This is Sanchez entering the danger zone right here. 2-0. Fastball count. Let's see if he counters with a wrinkle in one. Maybe a slider down and away.
Fastball line to the alley in left center field. It is out of reach of Cameron. To the 401 sign. Maben is in. Hudson to the plate. He'll score without a throw. A 2-run double for Kyle Blanks, and the Padres have scored 3 in the first. Sanchez may be wishing now that pitch had a wrinkle in it.
What a great approach and a great short, quick swing to that baseball. Boy, the Padres just getting right back into the hitting act early on, and that is some kind of nice for number 88 in the Friars.
6 RBIs in the series for Blanks. Nick Hundley coming off a big night last night. He was a triple shy of the cycle. Went 4 for 4. Couple of doubles. Home run.
You know, it's a nice trend here early on. Extra base hits this inning, right? We talked about the home run from Venable and now the double from Blanks, both on 2-0 counts. So, hey, they're hitting 2-0 mistakes. And not just singles. Extra bases, yo.
Down the right field side, foul. Those extra base hits seem few and far between early in the season. They've certainly been coming at a higher frequency here recently. Nick has bumped the average up to 271. th pitch of the inning from Aníbal Sanchez. 94 is up high.
I would have to think that Sanchez also has the weight of the world on his shoulders, right? Trying to at least salvage one game. Not a good start for the right-hander.
Two outs in the Padre first. Venable with a homer. Blanks a 2-run double. A 2-2 to Nick. Breaks his bat in the air to left, and Peterson rambles over to make the catch. But the Padres get 3, and the inning began with Venable's 3rd game leadoff home run of the season. Where you do business matters.
Well, that's the broken lens. See ya.
80K later, they'll have a new one.
Well, so they went to the bullpen and they got a new lens.
Always prepared at television. They keep extras of those, huh? Jose Lopez beginning the Marlins second and fouls it straight back. It's 0-2. Great article today. Not only on Trevor, but on that Padre barrage last night. They had the 10 questions with Kyle Blanks in there this morning. They asked Kyle what he would be doing if he wasn't playing baseball. He said he would like to be a chef. He likes to cook.
Really?
Yeah. You know, too many times we stereotype people. You wouldn't look at Kyle Blanks and say, chef.
You wouldn't think George Foreman liked to cook food either, right? He came out with his own grill, right?
Kyle likes to make different pizzas. And he's already a pretty accomplished chef.
If he likes pizzas, I'll bet you a dime to donuts that someday, if he doesn't have one already, one of those pizza ovens like people have like in their backyard, where they get that mesquite wood going and get it nice and hot, and
that's the way to make those pizzas.
Fire up pizzas, you betcha.
Have to get Kyle to cook us up a nice barbecue chicken pizza. I think he mentioned was one of the styles that he likes. Lukey just missing the outside corner. 2-2 on Lopez.
Kyle's a big teddy bear. You talk to him, very soft-spoken, not very animated. Just
very intelligent man.
Yes. Just goes about his business.
And I think that article said he's trimmed down to about 255 in that area.
Yeah, because they had some fans getting in contact with us, asking what the train was at these days.
Sharply towards short, backhanded by Bartlett. One out. Well, we showed you saved 100 and 300 for Trevor. Looks like it saved 400. This was May 6th, 05 against the Cardinals in St. Louis. Is that So Taguchi again?
Looked like it, yes. Miguel Ojeda behind the dish. So Taguchi is so out.
Mike Cameron was one of a couple of Marlins that participated in the ceremony. The other was last night's starting pitcher Clay Hidsley, of course, both former Padres. Mike Cameron's still one of the good guys in the game. He's had a pretty nice career of his own. 17 years in the big leagues. 1-1 hit towards third, foul.
Mike Cameron's probably in just as good a shape now than he was when he came to the big leagues, huh?
He's still a specimen. You know, all the different things that went wrong at the end of 2007. I'm sure Padre fans recall that Cameron got hurt, missed the last 7 games that year, the regular season with a thumb injury. That's to right field. Caught by Venable. Lukey has sent down the first 5 Florida hitters of the game and will face first baseman Gaby Sanchez. Saw the numbers on Sanchez. 16 home runs. He hit 19 a year ago, which was his first full season in the big leagues. Sanchez, a Miami native who played at the University of Miami. What's going on at the U these days?
Well, a lot of people are going ducking for cover, huh?
Yeah.
Trying to get out of Dodge.
It's not a pretty scene. Going to hear more and more about that saga as the weeks and months go on. 1-2 pitch. Time granted. Corey likes to get it and go, as you say, Mud. So
yes, he
opposing
does.
hitters may like to break up that rhythm by stepping out.
And sometimes with runners on base, that can work to the disadvantage of Corey Lupke, because sometimes he just will lose consciousness of the runners out there, not pay attention, and that's when you can take an extra base. But so far for Corey Lupke, out of the windup for the young left-hander.
Two outs, nobody on in the Florida second. The Padres put a 3 spot up in their half of the first. Down the left field side and hooking foul. Another 2-2 coming from Lupke. It's sharply on a couple of hops to the shortstop Bartlett. 6 up, 6 down for an inning and a half. 3-0 San Diego. They battle the Rockies at 5:35, and as part of Go Green Night presented by Sony, the first 25,000 fans in attendance receive a Padres Go Green bag presented by Smile Generation. You can recycle your e-waste before the game. You can get your tickets online today, Padres.com. 8, 9, and 1 hitters for the Padres, and third baseman Logan Forsythe is another that's had a nice series. A couple of hits last night, knocked in 2.
You know, the number 8 spot, kind of a tough gig
in the National League for sure.
Yeah. And for a young guy coming up for the first time, it's something that I think Buddy Black looks at and says, you know, I need a guy with the right mentality and the right attitude to take on that role in the number 8 spot. And I think Logan's saying, you know, my attitude's right.
Takes it into center field where Cameron comes in to put it away.
Number 52, pitcher Corey Lupke.
Corey Lupke has 4 hits on the season, 4 for 22 with the stick. He's up there hacking, little dribbler. Sanchez fields out by a step.
Yeah, I talked to Sue Bodas, who's head of the Padres Foundation. She does a great job.
She is another Buckeye.
She is a Buckeye, and we know Corey Lupke is a Buckeye. And I want to start a little trend. Every time the young left-hander toes the slab, I want to come up with some type of Buckeye necklace. She says she has a Buckeye necklace that she's going to give me for good luck every time that Corey Lupke toes the slab. I think that's pretty cool.
Whatever it takes to keep the mojo going. Venable began the Padre first inning with a home run to right. His third game leadoff homer of the season and his fifth overall home run. No balls, 2 strikes. And a lady who brought her glove up here on the second deck.
She must have been watching last night. She came to the ball yard and she knew that she's got to bring it. Yeah, good for you. Look at that. Yes.
Got the Trevor uni going. It's popped up on the infield left side. Lopez drifting along with it. It makes the catch to retire the side. But the best defensive play of the inning was made up here in the second deck. Of course, the ACDC means we welcome Trevor Hoffman into the booth with us. How have you held it together so far, man?
I'm exhausted. What an emotional roller coaster of just spectacular proportions.
How much of that did you know was going to happen? How, as far as who the people in your life were coming back, the events, etc.?
I kind of knew some of my former teammates were coming to town. I'd gotten some texts and I'd gotten some, hey, what you doing on Thursday or Friday? I'm like, okay, it's too close to the event for me not to have an idea. But really, they did an unbelievable job from top to bottom of keeping a lot of that hush-hush.
Just when you thought they covered it all, they uncovered something else that just topped the previous thing. And it, from start to finish, Trevor, I tell you what, it was flawless. It was class. Whoever put this thing together, and my hat's off to the Padres organization.
I'd have to echo that because it was exactly that. It was a first-class honor. It was a first-class step for the way the Padre organization stepped up. It couldn't have been done any better.
Brian Johnson from ACDC. I'm not talking Brian Johnson, the catcher. How cool was that?
Like you said, it just kind of kept ramping up, and we're on stage looking at each other. Are you kidding me? He's talking about me in his song.
Bartlett makes the catch for the first out. That's a great example of how the Padre organization covered all the bases.
Really
who would think of, you know what, let's get the singer for Trevor's song to make
Trevor's song. I love it. Yeah, you know, it just kept putting the cherry on top and the whipped cream, and it was really hard to put into words right afterwards to the media group how special that was.
Now, when you got in the caddy, We thought for a moment you were going to take a ride.
I was thinking about just taking off.
You didn't know what that thing was on the gear shift, though, did you? The 3 on the tree?
It was a bit new for me, kid. I didn't have too many of those. I was just trying to get it started. I was having a hard time cranking her up, but
the look on your face, man.
What a beautiful, beautiful car. But it's right. Dad used to drive us around and when we were kids, just the hair, wind blowing in the hair, and it was, took you back a little bit.
Strike out for the second.
There it is.
1958 Cadillac convertible, loaded with Hoffmans.
Look at that.
And you look out of place in that suit. I can just picture you in shorts, flip-flops, and a T-shirt. And you're going to be cruising the beach at Del Mar.
You're right, buddy. It's definitely going to be a standout piece of equipment. More than one person deserves, gentlemen. More than one person deserves.
Well, I know you have a lot of great friends that you saw today. I didn't realize you and Brad Ausmus were as close as you are.
What are you implying?
We saw it.
He got a little grabby on me, didn't he? Sucker. Copping a feel in front of my wife. That ain't cool. Hey, kind of caught me off guard, no pun intended, but that's Bradley for you.
He was so.
Oh, yeah.
And he just.
Brad, get your hands up. Brad, get your hands up. Just to try and get a rise out of you and just got to catch you off guard.
How long is it going to take to assimilate everything you're experiencing today?
It's going to be a long time. It's going to be a long time to be able to get through the amount of emotions that I felt, the excitement that was a part of sharing something like this with my community. The San Diego fans stepped up in a big way today to show their appreciation.
Got another 3 outs inning. We'll keep you out for another half inning as the Padres lead at 3-0. Well, that 58 Caddy may drive by Sunset Cliffs at some point.
It's where it belongs. Belongs up along the coast.
Visiting with Trevor Hoffman. We head to the Padres half. Been an incredible day. Mud and I mentioned you're not human if you weren't shedding tears. We were brushing away tears ourselves.
I cried like 8 times. I have to admit.
I thought it was going to be. I was going to be able to keep it together. There was 0 chance. I'm waiting out in the bullpen. I'm going. I have no chance today to stay composed. But you're right. You really shouldn't be worrying about that when really 18 years of your life, and really for that matter, my whole life has just kind of been put out there.
Ground ball up the middle. Bonifacio gets to it. And it throws out Bartlett for the first out. I think some people may have learned even more about you, if that's possible, even though you spent so much time here. We were visiting with your old college coach, Jerry Kendall, here just a few moments ago. Of course, you played shortstop. And then it was the coach of the minor leagues, Mike Griffin.
Yep.
And the idea came to turn you into a pitcher. What was your first thought when they said, hey, we don't want you to be a position player anymore, we want you to pitch?
I figured if I couldn't hit it, I might as well learn how to throw it. And so I wanted to utilize the arm that I was blessed with. The idea of kicking Barry Larkin out of shortstop in Cincinnati wasn't going to happen.
Bouncy ball to Infante, and he throws out Maven.
They showed those clips of you, Trevor, at U of A at shortstop that I had not seen before. I was impressed.
Thanks, man.
You were sacrificing your body, and then after getting to know you, that would be the kind of shortstop you would be. But what a different mentality going from a shortstop position to where you've laid out all the time and played, everything's out there, to where you became the closer. And like I said, when somebody asked me about you, I'd never seen you throw a hat, throw a helmet, throw a glove, kick a rosin bag. I mean, that's a different
dynamic of the game.
Yeah.
I think that's the one thing that I've been able to appreciate and help me as a pitcher was to be a regular, to understand the grind that these guys go through 9 innings, 162. It's a different mentality, and not to take anything away from the mentality that you need to have it to be a successful pitcher. As you know, it's just a different gig, and so it allowed me not to give away too much credit because I knew how hard it was to hit, but also an appreciation for all my teammates and the jobs that we all carry. And so I think it allowed me to be a little more well-rounded.
Well, not only the change to pitcher from shortstop, but at what point in your pro career, and that's a bullet up the middle on a base hit for Guzman, did you say to yourself, not only is pitching right for me, but I think this closer role is where I really belong? Was there a game, was there an event that you said, this is really home for me?
Well, Kenosha, Wisconsin didn't have the crowds that we have here, but when I came out of the bullpen for the first time in that role, I said there's really no other position somebody wants to play in as a pitcher, and gravitated to it right away. Enjoyed the work that it took to be successful at it, but enjoyed coming to the yard with the opportunity to be a part of the team every day.
I thought it was Doug Bachler, but it was actually Donnie Elliott who taught you the changeup.
Yeah, Bach had a great changeup also, and
right.
we talked about it. But yes, it was when Donnie came over after the Fred McGriff trade that we talked about my circle change grip and how it went from the circle change grip, and you can see how far out on my hand it is, where it's over here, and it just never felt really comfortable. I didn't feel like I could throw it as hard as I wanted to, and if I did get my elbow up underneath my hand, I was going to be pushing it up there.
But then I remember you telling me pinching the R.
Pinching the R, pinching that seam.
Rawlings.
And that's exactly what it is. And so you can see it's kind of gone more onto these two fingers by pinching the seam right there. And I just had this conversation with guys in the pen or in the dugout the other day. From this point, from Donnie getting me to this spot is where it went to the back of my hand, and I was able to choke it, and I got the velocity decrease.
Past the pitcher, Sanchez, no play. Maybe he does have a play. With Bonifacio back to Infante, and Guzman slides back in safely.
That's how yesterday got started, with a little dribbler back to the pitchers now, and they got things going.
How about this team recently? I mean, young players coming up, opportunity is knocking.
I think that's just it. I think they're seizing their opportunity. They understand that they're auditioning for next year right now a little bit. They're not giving away anything as far as this season is concerned, but they understand that it's a style of play that has been wanted almost a whole year, and so leave it to the young guys to come up with a lot of enthusiasm and excitement to go and play this game hard in the right way.
Kyle Blank's one of those who doubled in two his first time up. He's homered each of the last 2 games of this series. Takes up high. Now, when you came to the Padres, 51 was actually taken at the time.
Mike Maddox?
Mike Maddox.
Mike Maddox had 51 when you joined the Padre roster.
Yeah. And I didn't really have a leg to stand on to try and fight for it or what have you, but it was definitely strange to wear 34. 34, I had a couple baseball cards with that on it, and it's interesting how you feel different in different numbers and your comfort level. I mean, we're a little crazy, I guess you could say, but being able to get it back was great.
By the way, do you know our start time today happened to be 1:51?
Sorry, Corey. I definitely owe the steak dinner, I think, for dragging
Nobody's
it out.
complaining. Nobody's complaining that things went long. There you are in the 34 jersey.
There you go. There you go. I know Fernando did his thing up in L.A., but it looked better on him than it ever did on me.
2-1 pitch to Blanks. Tried to check, but
I know during the ceremony you could retell the story, but as a kid you liked 15.
Yep.
That was your favorite number.
Because of my brothers. They wore 15 in high school basketball. It seemed to be the family number. Did a couple things in wood shop with the number 15, but like Glenn said, I was too small to really wear it in baseball, so they kept giving me the number 1. Kind of put an end to that sort of thing. So
strikeout of Blake Cincinnati. San Diegans everywhere say thank you. So proud.
Thank you. I say it back.
Be a part of this.
I say it back, guys. This has been awesome to be able to come up here and appreciate it.
Trevor, thank you so much.
Thank you, guys.
Congratulations, you and your family.
Thank you.
Trevor Hoffman. What a day it has been here at Petco. San Diego Padres baseball brought to you by the 9 Honda dealers of San Diego County. Stop by and test drive the all-new redesigned 2012 Civic and check out the latest offers on the full lineup of Hondas. Mark Neely, Mark Grant, our thanks to Trevor Hoffman for stopping by on his day.
Yeah, he's being pulled every which way, and we appreciate his time in our booth. Sharing some stories and some memories.
You know, I think when he was originally approached about the idea of this day, that he was a little reluctant because he's not somebody that wants the limelight and look at me, and
he's very humble.
Very. But agreed to it, and we're so happy and fortunate that he did. You know, in this game of baseball, since it's every day for 6 months, sometimes the minutia catches up and there's things you don't recall, different events. Today will certainly be one of the days that you recall forever. How many of those type of days are there? Strike 3 to get Bonifacio. 3 consecutive Ks for Lukian, and Bonifacio wasn't all crazy about that call. I'm sure your first day as a big leaguer, one that sticks out?
Absolutely, absolutely, no question. And as I said in the open before we went to first pitch, this is one that's going to stick with me for the rest of my life. I can't put words to it how well it was done.
Fabulous job. Didn't miss anything. Again, when you bring Brian Johnson, the lead singer of AC/DC, on the video board, just to be able to think of that and then get it done and have it as part of the ceremony was tremendous. Strike on the outer half. 2-1 on Infante. Back to the screen. Make it 4 consecutive strikeouts for Corey Lupke. 2 away. Time for our AT&T Wireless Trivia question for today. And of course, we have to center it around Hoffy and which pitcher did Trevor Hoffman save the most games for in his career?
That's a good one.
That's a great question. Mulling over some prospects that could be. No 2 count on Stanton, who fly to left his first time.
Oh! See what track says here. I still think it's a strike. That was off the plate.
It was a heck of a 2-strike pitch, though.
Yes, it was.
2-2.
Trying to bury that slider. You know, we mentioned earlier that Corey Lupke, sometimes the mechanics can get out of the whack because he works too quickly and the arm doesn't catch up. And this is the first full count for the left-hander. He was 0-2.
Ripped to left. Blake's going back, and a line drive home run as Mike Stanton shows off that phenomenal power of his and makes it a 3-1 game. I don't think I've seen many line drives go off the facing of the second deck like that in left field.
Well, did that ball bounce back onto the field?
I know it hit.
I know it
facing of the second deck.
I want to make a point because, boy, what a powerful swing. As this ball hits the Seimer sign. Now, my point is that it did come back. Here's my point. That ball hit a sign that's got a little bit of give to it. It didn't hit solid concrete.
And it still came back onto the field.
It still came back. So my point is the force of that baseball being hit and the force it had when it hit that sign that gives a little bit. Ouch.
Well, we were talking, was it yesterday or the night before, about gauging the actual length of home runs, which is an inexact science. I'm curious to see this one because it obviously would have gone way past the Seimer sign had the second deck not been there. 30th of the year for Stanton, which ties him with Albert Pujols for the league lead. Well, we were also talking about the Barry Bonds home run. That you say this is the longest home run you've ever seen hit?
This is the longest I've ever witnessed. Look where this ball hits, folks. Oh.
That's hit deep to left center field by Lopez. Run down on the track by Cameron Maben. Well, that was June of '02, that long home run hit by Bonds. Stanton goes deep, and it's a 2-run game. Fans become a 2012 season ticket holder before August 26th, and you receive 5 complimentary tickets so you can enjoy great games this season, sample great seats, and enjoy all the exciting benefits of being a Padres season ticket holder. Don't miss out. All the numbers 619-795-5555, and tell the Padres you're in. Bottom 3 up in the Padres' 4th inning. Hundley flying to left his first time up. And is sporting a hot bat. Sanchez curveball, a strike call. The fastball at 94 is outside. Nick went around on the slider and strikes out. Well, let's answer our AT&T Wireless trivia question. Trevor Hoffman saved more games for which pitcher in his career? And the answer, Joey Hamilton. 35 of Hamilton's wins were saved by Trevor Hoffman. Woody Williams wasn't far behind, nor was Andy Ashby. He saved 29 of Peavy's games.
My first guess was Andy Ashby. Then I would think Jake.
Line to short, snagged by Bonifacio. Forsythe has hit the ball hard a couple of times, but is 0 for 2. Well, Lukey was very close to striking out Stanton on an 0-2 pitch that would have retired the side in order in the top of the inning and made it 12 in a row to begin the game that he had retired. But Stanton fought back and lined a home run out to left. The 7th home run Lukey is allowed this year. Corey bounced one back to the mound his first time up. Padres scored 3 in the first. Venable a leadoff homer. Blanks a 2-run double. Padres with 3 runs, 5 hits. The Marlins 1 run, 1 hit, that being the Stanton home run. And a 5-pitch walk to the Padre pitcher, Corey Lukey, which is the first walk allowed in the game by Sanchez. With that walk number 2, as he also issued one to Maben, who came in to score on the Blanks double in the first. There's Venable, who got the Padres rolling today with a game leadoff homer in the bottom of the first. Upstairs to Will.
I think this team overall has gotten a feeling, a different type of feeling with 2 outs. You know, they've got that life, they've got that fire to try to create some type of 2-out rally.
2-0, and Brett Hayes, the catcher, will visit the mound. Sanchez, 27 years old. He's from Venezuela. You may recall he threw a no-hitter in just his 13th major league start against Arizona in September of 2006. Will was geared up for something hard there and instead got the changeup.
82 on that Cambio. Another one looked like.
Yep, right back at it. 2-2. Two to Venable. There it goes full. The sliding stop by Hayes. That will allow Lutke to get a running start from first. Bartlett on deck.
Hey, he just threw changeup, slider to work it full. No reason why he wouldn't probably throw another off-speed pitch here. Or will he keep the fastball away?
Changeup.
Yep. You know, Will took a nice pitch, I believe it was yesterday. Yeah, on that triple. I think it was something off speed down and away that he rifled to the left center field gap. Being the left-handed hitter, he stayed on that ball nicely and displayed that power. Point being, that last change up there, he had to be short and quick and wait for it, but it was down in that area where he could go to left center field.
A late strike 3 call by plate umpire Dan Polino. He takes care of the Padres in the 4th with San Diego up by 2.
On a beautiful Sunday afternoon from Petco Park, honoring number 51 Trevor Hoffman. It's time for our mid-game recap, brought to you by Murray Lampert Construction. Find the truth in home remodeling, folks, with Murray Lampert. See why that they are the company that you can trust. Get online and visit murraylampert.com. Marco.
Thanks, Bud. Certainly a privilege to be a part of this day. Padres going for a 4-game sweep of the Marlins. Moving forward to 5th. Mike Cameron will lead off. Padres with a 3-run first. Marlins with 1 in the 4th on a Stanton solo homer. Cameron, his first time up, hit the ball hard, but lined out to the right fielder, Will Venable. Fastball to 92 is a strike call. Cameron, then Sanchez and Peterson for the Marlins. Lutke gets the outside corner that time, and it's 1-2. Nearing 70 pitches.
Yeah, and I was just going to say, after the home run, bounce back, getting Lopez and trying to make short work of Mike Cameron here. to start that fifth.
Got a piece of Cameron all in the batter's box.
Nice tight slider down and into the righty Cameron.
Cameron played in 33 games for the Red Sox this year before coming over to the Marlins. This ball away, 2-2. These teams with similar records coming in. Florida 57-69. Padres 58-70. Padres are 12 back in the NL West, with the Marlins 25 back of the Phillies in the East. There's the strikeout and the loopy slider. Fifth K for Corey.
Down and in. Well, Corey shows great arm speed on all of his pitches. It's duplicate, fastball, changeup, slider. Just throws off the timing of Mike Cameron for that strikeout.
Ball one outside to Gabby Sanchez. Sanchez ended the second with a ground out to short. Ruki's curveball is up and away.
I think that curveball, even for a ball, does wonders for the young left-hander.
In what ways?
Kind of softens up the hitter a little bit and then pounds the fastball away, but he misses at 91.
Behind 3-0 to Sanchez. And he takes the fastball strike. Mr. Sanchez will have to return.
Hey, nothing more embarrassing for a hitter. Sanchez was a third away down to first base, and that right on the outside corner. It's definitely high enough, thigh high.
Plate umpire Dan Bellino is in his first full season as a major league umpire. He's the rookie on this crew. And Sanchez barking this time gets rung up. Leaves his bat at the plate. And angrily heads back to the third base dugout. That's what track says on this.
I'm betting it's a strike. You betcha. And you know what? I was going to say that even if we didn't have Carlos Jr. pitch track, and I'm not just saying it because there's Padres across the chest of Corey Lukey. You put two silhouettes out there. That's a strike. I don't care who it is.
Two away for the left fielder, Brian Peterson. Where he gets the low part of the zone again. Peterson in the third, popped out to the shortstop Bartlett. Slider tipped, 0-2. You have been saying that Brian Peterson reminds you a lot with the stance, etc., of Steve Finley, who is here today.
Even his looks, you know.
Yeah.
Hey, he got a nice round of applause.
He did. He got a great round. Nice ovation. Peterson hitless last night, which ended a modest 5-game hitting streak. One, two. Too low. Past the mound to the shortstop Bartlett behind the bag, slings close, safe.
He runs like Steve Finley. He got down that line quickly. You know, that little stutter step. Did you see Bartlett? He caught it, kind of shuffled. Good call. Yes, he did.
An infield hit for Peterson with 2 outs. Brings up the 8th spot in the order, and catcher Brett Hayes. Ball 1. Three homers this year for Hayes. One of those a grand slam against the Brewers. Maluki had Peterson going back towards the base at first when the pitch came home, yet Hundley goes out to talk briefly with Corey.
See, this is the case where Nick might go out and say, hey, dude, gotta slow down a little bit. You know, vary your sets. Don't worry about that run over at first base. If he's going to go, he's probably going to go on first move. So let me handle catching the pitch and trying to throw him out if he goes.
Pulls in the fastball strike.
Kind of slow down his delivery a little bit there, maybe?
He did, I think so.
Might have been very subtle, but great compliment for your catcher after having a visit, firing a strike.
Peterson 3 for 3 in steal attempts. (3-1) Padres, top of the 5th. Strike call, 2-2. Checking on Peterson.
You know, it's Hayes, and when you talk about hitters keeping their weight back, looks like Hayes has a mechanism to where he starts with his weight on his front foot and then kind of shifts back. See that?
Indeed.
Very subtle. His timing mechanism.
Lukey fans 3 in the inning. He has K 7 today.
Here you go. $54,500. A chance for you to win huge cash. Enter at FLO.com. Mark Neely.
Thanks, bud. Got your case?
Yeah.
First pitch swinging. Bartlett back up the middle, cut off by Bonifacio. 1 pitch, 1 out. Center fielder Cameron Maben does have an 8-game hitting streak on the line today. He is 0 for 1 officially. Walked and scored in the first and then grounded out to second base in the third. Padres made a player move after last night's game. Ernesto Frieri activated off the DL. And reliever Pat Neshek designated for assignment. After these, 2-1. So Ernie is back.
Big Ern back in the house. The giver of life. Welcomed a daughter into the world recently. There he is. Good to have him back.
Parenthood will change you, won't it? Off the end of the bat into shallow left center field, but caught by Mike Cameron. 2 away.
Yeah, I know today is Trevor's special day, and just to reflect a little bit more on the day, I'm guessing there are going to be a lot of people that are going to be inquiring about, hey, can I get that on DVD?
Well, I hope those of you at home that watched what was about an hour 10 put that on the DVR.
Absolutely. And a good job by the production crew as well here at Channel 4.
Strike taken by Jesus Guzman.
Director Tom Satursky, Eddie Barnes, producer, Jason Bott, producer,
Tom Weisbarth, who was the host at the beginning.
Who's that? Weisbarth?
I think it's
Midnight?
Whitebarth.
Bill Pettigrew on his birthday came out to the ballpark today and did a fine job.
Towards the hole and through. A base hit for Guzman, his second of the game. A 2-out single. Hit number 6 for the Padres. And it gives a 2-out chance to O'Dog. He was singled twice. Base hit to right and a run scored in the first. Singled past the pitcher his last time up. 0-1 low from Anibal Sanchez.
Oh, okay. My award today, talking about the Trevor ceremony. Guy with the greatest costume, Ricky Henderson. Did you see Ricky's get up today? That was some kind of nice.
Of course, they had the red carpet from home plate to the mound. And
look at Ricky. Oh, yeah.
inside to Orlando Hudson.
I'd be remiss if I didn't thank Craig Chatfield down in Tape for doing a great job. We work with some great people, don't we?
Terrific. Craig's one of the best, too. Down low, 3-0.
I thought it was also appropriate. JT Snow. And who did he walk up with? It slips my mind. I'm looking at the list here. Scott Erickson. Shorts and flip-flops. Because that's exactly what Trevor loves to wear. I thought that was very appropriate. Former U of A
3-1 pitch. Breaks his bat past Sanchez on the first base side of the infield. The shortstop Bonifacio fields and throws out Hudson.
Ricky just getting done shopping at the Sophisticated Man in
Coleman University, a military-friendly school. Look at the Midway.
Have you ever took a tour of the Midway?
I have, but it's been a little over a year since the last time I was on the Midway.
I highly suggest it. It's most choice.
We had our luncheon for the Poinsettia Bowl, not this past year, but the year before, on the Midway. Amezaga batting. Waiting for the pitcher Sanchez, who is lifted after 5 innings. Padres lead 3-1. All 3 Padre runs came in the first. That ball's belted to left field, but
not today.
Kyle Blanks brings it out number 1. Top of the order for the Fish, and Emilio Bonifacio. Grounded out to begin the game, back to the mound, and in the 4th struck out. 92nd pitch coming from Corey Lupke. Corey's spot is due up 4th in the next inning for the Padres.
He's good for about 110 pitches. Hey, the velocity's still there. Consistency about 92, 93. Good location.
Yeah, 110 is his high, but he's usually in that 104 to 109 range. Last time the Padres are facing the Florida Marlins. When they see them next year, the Marlins rebranded as the Miami Marlins.
You know, I'm kind of anxious to see what the new look is going to be like. I'm anxious for the new stadium.
Yes.
New unis.
Yeah.
A lot of speculation that Ozzie Guillen is going to
possibly
be managed.
The strikeout Bonifacio, 2 gone. And November 11th of this year, which is 11-11 of 11, is when they're going to officially become the Miami Marlins. You see Steve Cishek getting loose. And they'll announce the color scheme. There's some talk like they may lose the teal, but that's not official. to wait and see in November.
You know, if you do a little research, the Miami Marlins back in the day when it was a minor league team.
In the Florida State League.
Yeah, I think their colors were like red and bluish, I want to say. Because Todd Hutchison, we should talk to Hutch about this.
The Padres athletic trainer?
I think Todd was a trainer because the Miami Marlins had some affiliation with the Padres. I could be wrong. Could be totally wrong.
You know what the Miami Marlins did?
Co-op team or something?
They were a co-op team and actually made a couple of selections in the Major League Draft back in the early 90s.
Really?
Yeah, they were the last. There was a rule at the time in the majors that a minor league team could draft after a certain round. That's been changed since, because they drafted Mike Lansing out of Wichita State.
Shocker.
I think it was Paul Carey out of Stanford. There was a couple of players they drafted. I want to say it was the 1990 draft or 89, 90. And then baseball closed that loophole because Mike Veck was running the team. 1-2 pitch. Into right. Drops in for a base hit. Venable cuts it off. A single for Infante. That's his first hit since coming off the DL yesterday. Cameron loosening for the Padres. And then the Miami Marlins sold Lansing to, I believe, the Expos was the team that he came up with originally. So that was their reason behind drafting. They wanted to develop their own players to make money. Mike Stanton hit a line drive home run to left off the facing of the second deck. His last time up in the fourth. He represents the tying run here. That's outside. The name of the team may have been the Miracle at the time instead of the Marlins, but it was the Miami Florida State League team.
Really?
Stanton's home run in the fourth is 30th of the season. Infante's 2-out single has kept the inning alive for the Marlins. Lukey at 102 pitches. Breaks his bat, fortunately, and it may keep it in the yard. And Kyle Blanks backs up against the fence to make the catch. Stanton nearly hit a ball out of the park on a broken bat. That's some sick power.
That bat will not die happy.
Out is brought to you by Mossy Ford and Mossy Toyota. Visit us in Pacific Beach or online at mossy.com. Steve Cishek becomes the new pitcher for Florida.
Fastball slider and a change from the low 3/4 right-hander. And when we look at the Marlins bullpen coming into this series, overall, not that bad. A 3.32 ERA, 4th in the National League. So now their job is to hold with the 2-run deficit. And this is where the Padres, if they can get the early lead like they have this afternoon, the pitching has been solid all year. Hopefully they can hold the Marlins to 1 run.
Outside, ball 1 to Blanks with the 6, 7, and 8 hitters up for the Padres. Kyle doubled home 2 in the first and fanned in the third against the starter Sanchez. Center fielder Cameron plays Blanks to pull. And rides up and in.
Different arm angle from Cishek, right? And let's see how Kyle adjusts by keeping that front shoulder at that pitcher, not flying open. A lot of guys will have the tendency to fly open that front side, losing all power.
Foul.
It's a little deception there. And that's a 91 fastball from Cishek. So he comes set, kind of square, shows you his name and number. That front side, that elbow, point right at you, and then trying to deceive you a little bit with that whip action, low 3/4, coming right at that left hip pocket of Kyle Blanks.
3-2 to Kyle. Put that fastball down, and Blanks swung over the top of it and strikes out. 4-hit night last night for Nick Hundley. 0 for 2 tonight, or today. He's flied to left and struck out. And 4 hits tied a career high in a game for Nick. Fouls it back. Nick went deep in last night's game. Got a couple of doubles in addition to this, so the 3 extra base hits and a home run to left. Hey, his 5th of the year.
How about Hot Rod showing power to all fields? Triples, yes. Opposite field, home runs, pull him into the left center field bleachers.
Since coming off the disabled list, 15 for 30, hitting right at 500. That includes the 0 for 2 today. That home run he hit last night, by the way, turned out to be the 1,000th home run in Petco Park history. They hit that many in Arizona like in a year, don't they?
Yeah, they do.
At Coors Field. Top foul back.
That's a tough sinker to try to keep fair.
One out, nobody on in the Padres' 6th inning, a 2-run San Diego lead. Padres have led throughout since scoring all 3 of their runs in the first. Hundley gets hit by the pitch.
He tried to bury it inside. No, this one totally gets away. That's a breaking ball that he leaves out in the inside part of the plate because Hayes was set up down and away. See, Nick doesn't. He didn't wear that elbow protector, did he? He doesn't have one of those on, does he?
I don't think so.
Nah, he's a man.
Strike one called to Logan Forsythe. Hit the ball hard a couple of times. Each time to the center fielder by Cameron. Oh, and 2. That rides high from Cishek. Down low. Both these teams off tomorrow. Padres have that short 2-game series in San Francisco Tuesday and Wednesday. Padres will face Kane in the first game and Lincecum in the second, with Latos going in game 1 for the Padres and Stauffer in the second.
Always love to see the left-hander do a little cheerleading.
There goes the runner Hundley, and a ground ball left side. Lopez sidearms to first. The stretch by Sanchez down the line and holds the bag. Forsythe retired. Hundley to second with 2 outs. Eric Cunningham will bat for the pitcher Corey Luebke. So 6 innings for Luebke. He allowed 1 run on 3 hits, and the run came on the Stanton home run. 103 pitches for Corey.
Another great outing.
Struck out 8. Nine is his high this year for strikeouts. He fanned 9 Pirates back on August 6th. Pulled foul by AC. Only at second, 2 outs, and Cunningham in the hole. 0-2 from Steve Cishek. Off the plate outside.
Oh, he had a hanger middle in, huh? But maybe hung up there and in just a little bit too much. There's not a hitter out there who does not like a hanging slider, and this one may, AC tried to get his hands through, right, to get that good part of the bat on it, but maybe in just enough.
Strike 3 to Cunningham. 2 Ks in the inning for Cishek. The Padres stranded their 6th base runner of the game. Southern California's premier dental implant center. By MTS. MTS moves me. And by Cadillac. Visit your San Diego County Cadillac dealer for an attractive lease or purchase offer. At the convention center and back inside Petco Park. Padres into their bullpen now with Chad Qualls.
Well, Chad Qualls leads the team with 63 appearances. That's tied fourth for most in the majors. And he loves pitching here at home. 1.74 ERA here at Petco Park this year. Hits to innings pitched. Evened up at 61 for the right-hander. And this is where the bullpen for the San Diego Padres shines, right?
It's been 7, 8, 9.
Yep.
Look from the Padres bullpen.
It's a good view right there. Good seat in the house. Justin Hatcher, thinking of the right-hander for the Marlins. Doing a great job, as Darryl Ackerfeld always does.
There was an Astro guy back in the day. Wasn't there Chris Hatcher? Played a little bit in the big league for Houston?
Billy Hatcher.
No, I'm not thinking different guy.
Oh, different Hatcher?
Yeah, I remember Billy Hatcher.
He's the one who had the Super Balls. He broke his bat, right? And his bat was loaded.
It bounced out.
Yeah.
Kind of hard to hide that, huh?
Yeah.
Jose Lopez. Was it foul?
Although Chris Hatcher was a catcher, we documented that. Now a pitcher for the Marlins, right?
Correct. He's made the transformation, converted catcher this year. Lopez 0 for 2. He's grounded to short and fly to center. Ball's 1-1. Broken bat. Fly ball to left. Blanks moving in.
That was music to my ears. Chad Qualls with the turbo sinker. Just snapping that bat. Kindling. Let's listen. Oh. Yeah, great.
That's sweet music to the ears of Mud Grant, huh? Center fielder Mike Cameron. First pitch hacking and fouls it.
You want to know how much I love that sound? 2 years ago, there was a game, and it was something just like that. And I said to Eddie Barnes in the truck, our producer, I said, hey, can you mark that? Because I want you to do something with that for me. And you know what he did? He put it on my phone as a ringtone.
I was going to say, is that a ringtone for you?
Yeah. He can do it all now.
Cameron fouls it back. So how did the ringtone go? Was it just numerous crack?
Just crack, and then like a 2-second delay, and then crack, 2-second delay. So if you called me, and it took me a while to pick up, I just enjoy that sound.
There you go. First base umpire Tony Randazzo says no. Cameron in the series is 1 out of 11. They get 1 for 12. First strikeout for Qualls and 2 gone in the 7th. Time for our leaderboard, brought to you by Los Primos, home of the Monster Burrito. Get your $5 meal deal for a limited time only. Most strikeouts this season in a start. I mentioned the one Lukey had 9 at Pittsburgh not long ago, but Mosley and Stoff also have a 9 strikeout game. And Lukey today joined 6 others with an 8K day.
I think he's going to continue to be one of those guys that has the opportunity to always flirt with double digits. Why? Because he locates the fastball, and I think he's going to get better and better with the off-speed stuff. The curveball and the changeup, not just the fastball and the slider like when he was in the bullpen.
Gabby Sanchez had a beef with the plate umpire. Dan Bellino, his last time up, he was called out on strikes. So Track said it was a strike. In addition to that K, Sanchez has grounded to short and is 0 for 2. Padres with a 2-run lead. Well, it's been a very emotional day here at Petco Park. Ground ball. And to his left, the shortstop Bartlett was about by a step and a half. It is time to stretch at Petco. Trevor Hoffman Day. Padres by 2. Discount Tire, where America saves on tires. The Braves behind Tim Hudson shut out Arizona 1-0. Alex Gonzalez solo home run, the only run of that game. So the D-backs have now lost 5 in a row, while the Giants ended their 3-game losing skid, beating the Astros 6-4-11. Pablo Sandoval with a 2-run home run, the 11th. That was the difference. So the Giants pull within a game and a half now of Arizona in the National League West. Home half of inning 7, and the Padres at the top of the order up. Venable began the Padre first with a home run to right, the 3rd time this season he's had a game leadoff homer for San Diego.
Hey, Mark, I know you were just talking about the National League West. We talked about it yesterday. Those Milwaukee Brewers,
Yes.
they've won 22 of 25.
Yeah, they're unconscious right now. Won again today, beat the Mets 6-2. Cardinals will play later tonight against the Cubs in the ESPN Sunday night game, but the Cardinals are 9 back right now.
Yeah.
Brewers are running away with it. You know, Milwaukee's home record, 47-16.
That's ridiculous.
Now, which has been the knock against the Brewers, that even with the win today, they're 28 They're 29 and 36 on the road. 1-2 on William. Cishek pitched a scoreless sixth, where he did hit a batter.
Well, I thought it was appropriate after the ceremony's first pitch, and we talked about this, 151.
The start time for the game was 1:51 today.
How sweet would it be if the Padres could tack on 2 more runs and leave the yard with a score of 5-1?
That would be. That's asking too much, isn't it? That would be too crazy.
You know what I like about that logo? Plain and simple. You know what I'm saying? Nothing really flashy. Just straight and to the point. A job well done by the grounds crew as well. Luke Yoder and his guys.
Jason 0 for 3 with a couple of ground outs his last 2 times up, both times to his counterpart Bonifacio at short. To left center field, Cameron makes the sliding catch.
See the route that Mike Cameron, we watched him run the bases the other day, and he still can scoot around those base paths, and he covers some ground in center field. And you know what? You see certain players at certain ballparks, and there's certain flashbacks. And remember the scary, when he was a Met with Carlos Beltran in right center field?
Yeah, that was
one of the nastiest scenes I've seen in the outfield. I mean, he was knocked cold, and then he fractured his what is it? Orbital?
The orbital socket,
right? And Mike Cameron was in bad shape.
There are a couple of outfield collisions that always stick out in my mind. The other one, remember when Johnny Damon in the playoffs?
Oh, yes.
When he was with Boston at that time, I believe. I think that was in Anaheim. But that was a nasty one. In fact, that's why he said he grew the hair, because it hurt to shave after that.
Really?
Yeah, he didn't cut his hair or shave his face. Wow. After the collision in the outfield. It's a 2-1 to Maben. It evens up at 2-2. Maben hanging in. Cam walked and scored in the first, and since then has grounded out and flied out. Another 2-2 from Steve Cishek. Fly ball medium center, right center field, and the shortstop has to go back, and Infante is the one who makes the catch. Padres go down in order for just the second time today. easy at the Del Mar Racetrack. Diamond Club members enjoy free stretch run admission, free reserve seating, and a free program. Plus, enjoy half-price domestic draft beers, sodas, and hot dogs at select concessions.
Oh, what a great picture. Going to the archives at home and picking up a special moment. That looks like maybe a spring training shot.
Trevor's still making the rounds. Eighth inning now, and on comes Luke Gregerson.
All right, we saw Chad Qualls throw the power sinker. Now it's time for Luke Gregerson to throw that slider of his and make do of these Florida Marlins here in the top of the eighth. Good numbers for Luke. Opponent's batting average a little high. We've seen it lower.
Bottom three up in the Marlins eighth.
Boy, I'm gassed.
It's been an emotional, draining day, and I just hope it ends well here without that emotion kind of draining everybody.
I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about dancing to Tom Jones. They were just playing in between innings.
You had the groove going, my man.
Something about that song.
Peterson has an infield hit and his line is short. Right side, one hop. Guzman steps on the bags, and that's one out. Well, Hayes due up, and they're going to pinch hit for Hayes with Greg Dobbs. They'll bring one of their left-handed bats off the bench. Dobbs has a couple of starts in this series at third base, but this really has been the role that he has flourished in past seasons. He's a pinch hitter. With Matt Stairs' retirement recently, Dobbs is now the major's active leader in pinch hit RBIs career. It's a little bittersweet to see Matt Stairs hang him up.
Yeah.
Good guy.
Great career.
Had a nice long career.
Really good career for Matt Stairs.
Just guided into left center field for a base hit. Blanks cuts it off. And a pinch hit single for Greg Dobbs to bring the tying run to the plate, and another pinch hitter.
That's why Greg Dobbs is a successful pinch hitter. As a pinch hitter, you just can't have one type of swing. Sure, there are guys like Matt Stairs, certain situations, one swing to put you tied or, in the lead. But Dobbs uses the whole field, and he did just that on the pitch down and away.
John Buck, who is their everyday catcher, not in the lineup today, is the pinch hitter. He hit a long home run earlier in the series to left center field. 15th of the season, and look out in the seats. Young man's got the baseball and he's okay. That's a good thing. Got to be ready down there. Hundley couldn't locate it, and Dobbs scoots down to second.
That was a sinker. I don't know whether the movement on that sinker made it difficult for Nick Hundley to grab at it. He kind of yanked it. Looked like it was a catchable ball. Was at 91 on the gun. Definitely not hitting his spot, and the Marlins get 90 feet out of it.
And he scored a wild pitch. And that one kicks to the left. And Dobbs will move up another 90 feet. Back-to-back wild pitches. And Hundley's just going to go out to the mound.
No, this one looks like a slider. Let's check it out of the hand. Yep, slider right out of the hand. And that ball, when it hits, watch it, on the breaking ball, it'll check up. So Nick does his best to try to square up. But that ball just crept up the left side of his arm and back to the screen.
Marlins are batting with a runner in scoring position for the first time in the game. 2-1 pitch to the pinch hitter, John Buck. Fly ball to right. Looks like it may be deep enough to score Dobbs. Catch made by Venable, and here comes the throw home. It's a good throw by Venable to one hopper, but that ball just hit too deep. And Dobbs scores on a Buck sac fly, and it's a one-run game. So the wild pitch was hurt.
Absolutely.
Top of the order for the Marlins with the bases empty and 2 outs, and Emilio Bonifacio. He's fanned his last 2 times up. He's also bounced to the mound. Bonifacio, a switch hitter. Takes it down low, and it's 2-0. There's a strike from Luke. He went 6 and allowed 1 run. Qualls worked to 3 up, 3 down, 7. Now Gregerson trying to finish things here in the 8th, but he's behind 3-1 to Bonifacio. Five-pitch walk puts Bonifacio on, and the tying run aboard.
Well, difficulty with the slider and the sinker. That was a 90-mile-an-hour sinker. It looks like Buddy is on his way to make a double switch.
Maybe the center fielder made the last out. Let's see what Todd elects to do here.
I think he might go with Bartlett.
Pitching change is brought to you by the Law Tigers, San Diego's motorcycle injury lawyers who ride. Padres are hoping for a 4-out save from Heath Bell. Margaritas at the park, where you can enjoy quality, fresh Mexican food and a wonderful evening happy hour 7 days a week. It's time for Heater.
Well, the last time Heath was out there was on Friday night. He recorded his 34th save. He needs a little extra here, like you mentioned, going to break. Hopefully getting 4 outs. An off day tomorrow as the Padres will travel to San Francisco. So hopefully Heath Bell is on his game, trying to save it for Corey Luebke.
You would have to think, Bud, that at the back of Heath's mind is getting a save.
I know where you're going.
On Trevor Hoffman Day.
Absolutely. Good point.
Infante 1 for 3 with a base hit his last time up. Fastball at 92 is fouled back. Shadows creeping out to the home plate now. Heath got the night off last night with the 14-1 win, but he was busy earlier in this series. Tying run. Bonifacio is at first with 2 outs in the Florida 8th. Breaking ball low. Last time Heath Bell went more than an inning for a save was October 1st of last season. That was against San Francisco. And that was a 4-out save. Won an inning and a third. Right center field. Maben calling. Heath uses 4 pitches and ends the 8th. Marlins do get a run, but the Padres are up by 1. The summer's best event from Cadillac. Get exceptional offers on the entire Cadillac lineup, including the versatile SRX crossover. Visit your San Diego Cadillac dealer today. Former Padre Edward Mujica enters the game for Florida.
We saw him the other night. Fastball split and a slider from Edward. He was back on Friday He pitched an inning. It was the 8th. Surrendered a hit and struck out one Padre.
Dobbs stays in the game to play third base. Buck also stays in and is catching. The pitcher Mujica is batting in the 2 spot, vacated by Infante. Guzman, Hudson, and Blanks in the San Diego 8th.
Time to take out a policy. Get some insurance.
Be nice to get a couple. At least one. With the shadow around home plate, but we've talked about this before, it's more difficult if the pitcher's in the shadow, correct? And the hitter in the daylight.
Yes.
This is the other way around. Chop to third, charged by Dobbs, who throws off balance, but got him. That was a good play by Dobbs, just into the game at third base.
The ball will find you. You get put out there, you make a pinch hitting appearance, or you go out there for defense purposes. That baseball will find you. And Dobbs makes a fine play. And that's a long throw, and as you mentioned the other day, Mark Neely, you know, Dobbs isn't your everyday third baseman.
Yeah, with their injuries, we've had to shuffle some things. Of course, Hanley Ramirez on the DL. On the pitching side, Josh Johnson on the disabled list for Florida. Those are their 2 key DL members. Orlando singled and scored in the first. And it's 2 out of 3. Padres scored 3 in the first inning. A leadoff homer by Venable, then Blanks a 2-run double. Marlins got a homer from Stanton in the 4th. And a sac fly from Buck in the 8th. It made it a 1-run game. Stanton is now tied for the National League lead with 30 homers, due to lead off the 9th inning for Florida. The 2-1 pitch, up and away. Line to right, and Stanton a step to his left to make the catch. Woodog making a bid, though, for his 3rd hit of the game. Hit that one on the screws.
Number 88, left fielder Kyle Blanks.
Orlando's hit the ball hard this series.
He has. He's had a good series. 6 hits, including a home run. Here's Blanks, who's hit home runs in back-to-back games coming into today. And his first time up in this one, doubled home 2 runs in the first inning. Up high from Mujica, and it's 1-1. Holds up. It's high, and it's a 2-1 count. After the double in the first, Kyle is fanned twice. And a hack at the 93-mile-per-hour fastball and fouled it back.
We talked about this the other day, and Kyle Blanks came through not with just an ordinary home run, a big home run, right? Because it put him ahead. This is one of those situations, late and close by a run, to have the big boy come through and send one out of here.
Take strike 3. Looked like the split.
Yep.
Tough chore for Bell. Stanton, Lopez, and Cameron due up in the top of the 9th. Homered in this game. Our Cold Hard Blast is presented by Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer. This is in the fourth. The only run that Lukey allowed. Stanton's 30th of the season, which ties him with Pujols for the league lead. His last time up in the sixth, he broke his bat, but still sent Kyle Blanks with his back to the left field fence to make the catch. He nearly homered on a broken bat. And he leads off the ninth in a one-run game.
You know who's the only guy I've ever seen do that? Jose Canseco. You know who was it off of?
Who?
Me.
Really?
At the Coliseum.
Broken back ground ball, spinning. Gonzalez throws him out. Boy, that's a big one right there. Stan going after the first pitch, breaks his bat, and one huge out in the top of the ninth. Our comparison is brought to you by the San Diego Toyota dealers. We've got what it takes. Career saves going more than an inning. He's looking to make that 11 today, and Trevor did it 55 times. Third baseman, actually Lopez, who's moved over to second, began the game at third, takes a strike. He's flied out his last two times up and also grounded to short. Ground ball to third. Into the bit of Forsythe. Two down.
Hey, that wasn't an easy hop.
He got a tricky one there, didn't he? Well, this on Trevor Hoffman Day. This was number 479, September 24th of 06 against the Pirates. He got Freddie Sanchez to ground out, and that passed Lee Smith on the all-time saves list. He's still atop that list. Padres an out away from a 4-game sweep of the Marlins.
Did you bring your whistle?
It's here, baby. Former Padre Mike Cameron, 0 for 3 today. The fastball at 94 is high. Deep left, Blanks back, and Mike Cameron has tied this game at 3. Fourth of the year for Mike Cameron.
2-0 count. Boy, we've heard that count many times in this series, and hitters taking advantage of it, particularly on the Padres side. Well, Mike Cameron gets a 2-0 fastball, and it wasn't just right down the middle. That ball was kind of in a little bit, looked like, and elevated, and he got his hands through to put it into the first basket at Western Metal Building.
Up and a miss by Sanchez. Well, the script was almost complete on a perfect day. It is not over.
Right.
But it is a 3-3 game now here in the ninth. Oh, 2. Now we look ahead to the Padre ninth. And you have the bottom 3 due up. Hundley, Forsythe, and the shortstop Gonzalez. 2 homers for the Marlins today. Both have come with 2 outs. And a hot shot up the middle past a diving Orlando Hudson and into center field. So a single for Sanchez puts the potential go-ahead run on.
Well, what's the Padre ninth look like, Mark Neely?
Bottom 3. Only Forsythe and Gonzalez. Ryan Peterson, the left fielder, has an infield hit in 3 at-bats. Two-0 count on Peterson.
You know, I've said it before and I'll say it again. But the count will dictate the action of a hitter. And here's what I mean. I think you'll agree with me. Many times I've said I defy a lot of hitters out there to get a Heath Bell fastball on the inside part of the plate and turn out and do something with it.
Right.
But what was the count? Right?
2-0.
Count was 2-0. Fastball count.
Line into right. That ball headed towards the corner. Sanchez to third. Peterson into second. And now the Marlins have second and third with 2 outs. That's 3 consecutive 2-out hits.
See where this one is, and that's a mistake. Nick Hundley set up down and away, and that ball leaks middle in and elevated, and Peterson spins on it. So getting back to my point, as Eric Hamren starts to get loose in the Padre bullpen, different counts. You know, if a guy's in the hole, it's, you know, looking for a fastball in like that, tough to turn on. But Mike Cameron may have been in the mindset, you know what? Hey, look at that count, 2-0. It's my favor. I'm going to look middle in, and he got it.
Greg Dobbs up. He came in as a pinch hitter, and they'll walk him with first base open. So they walk the lefty. They get to the guy hitting in the 9th spot, but that's not the pitcher spot now. It's Buck, who pinch hit and stayed in the game to catch in the 8th. Thatcher joins Hamren in the Padres bullpen. First 2 were retired on ground balls, including Stanton on the first pitch of the inning. Then the Cameron homer on the 2-0 pitch. Sanchez and Peterson with hits, and now the intentional walk to Dobbs loads him up. Buck with a sac fly in the 8th. Brought in the second Florida run. Foul tip, strike 1.
95. Great location. Working downhill.
Again, and it's 0-2. Three straight 95-mile-per-hour fastballs from Heath Bell. And he strikes out Buck. But Cameron's home run ties it. It's 3-3 to the bottom of the 9th. Take the Padres with you everywhere you go this season. Subscribe to MLB.tv today to see every Padres game live or on demand on your computer and your favorite devices. Visit Padres.com to order and get more details. MLB.tv. Baseball everywhere. 3-3, bottom of the ninth. Edward Mujica pitched a scoreless 8th. Nick Hundley begins the Padre ninth. Bottom 3 due up. First pitch fouled back. Nick 0 for 2 today with a hit by pitch after a 4-hit game last night.
I can guarantee you one thing: when you put yourself in the position of Edward Mujica, try to give him right field, keep the ball away. But on the other hand, Nick Hundley has showed some opposite field power. Again, away.
Away with the 93-mile-per-hour fastball, and it's 2-1. Forsythe through next, and then Gonzalez scheduled third in the inning. Hundley ropes it right center. Cameron on the move. He's going back. Off the very top of the fence. Hot rod. Round second. He's going to be standing at third with a leadoff triple. He missed ending this game by just a few feet. Nick Hundley has been triple happy here in recent days. His 5th 3-base hit of the season.
This kid is some kind of strong, folks. Oh! And that ball rolls right over Trevor Time. Hey, this might be a happy ending here this afternoon. And look at how pumped up Hot Rod Hundley is right there.
Winning run at third. Nobody out in the San Diego night. Marlins bring the infield in with Logan Forsythe at the plate. Marlins going to meet on the mound.
You see, look ahead here. Forsythe, Gonzalez. If you load them up, then you're facing Venable, right?
Right.
Or if you walk Forsythe first and third, Gonzalez. What you have to realize, there's nobody out. You know, if you walk him here, you pitch to Gonzalez, you know, double play. You know, they're trying to. You can't turn 2 because then, you know, if the run scores. I mean, so many things do it work. I would guess to load him up.
Now they are going to walk Forsythe, which would then lead you to believe that they're then going to walk Gonzalez. Because, like you said,
and only one lefty in the bullpen. They don't. Michael Dunn, but he's not warming up.
Now he just grabbed a baseball.
Yeah, he just got up. So he might be getting ready to face Venable.
There on the right, there's the left-hander Dunn.
And I'm just guessing. I'm going to guess they're going to walk him loaded and have Dunn come out and face Venable.
That would be going by the book. Here's Alberto Gonzalez, who came in as part of the double switch in the 8th inning, and you assume they will put him on as well to load the bases.
And then if you look even further than that, you bring in Dunn to face Venable, you get him out, then you bring your closer in, Leo Nunez.
Because the pitcher spot is in the 2-hole right now for the Padres. So after Venable.
And all righties on the bench for Bud Black.
Well, they've already used Cunningham. That leaves Darnell and Johnson.
Yep.
And they've used Gonzalez, who's being intentionally passed here. Marlins lost a game earlier this year in Seattle in interleague play when Steve Cishek tried to put a guy on.
Right.
airmailed it, and the winning run scored from third. But Mujica completes the free passes to Forsythe and now Gonzalez, and it loads the bases, force at any base. And the top of the order up, but here comes Jack McKeon. The other side of the equation is going to be the lefty Dunn to come in here to face the left-handed hitting Venable.
And he's taking his own sweet time because he wants Dunn to get as many tosses as he can in that bullpen. Now he signals he'll get 8 when he gets to that mound.
So the Marlins make a pitching change and get the left-hander Dunn. Don't go anywhere on Trevor Day. We're coming right back. Padres have him loaded with nobody out, and the lefty Dunn is the new hurler for Florida.
This is going to be interesting, not only because of the situation, but because Michael Dunn, who came into the game on Friday night, pitched in the 7th 2/3, his walk ratio is really, really high. You took a look at those numbers there we just saw. Very high in the walk column. Dunn has got to get to Venable, right? No time for really nitpicking. Padres 90 feet away from winning this one. Hey, a walk, a hit batsman.
Anything works. Venable 1 for 4. He homered, leading off the Padre first. Took one out to right. Near the short porch. Third time he's led off a Padre game with a home run. Infield in, outfield in. In fact, they have only 2 outfielders. They've brought Cameron in to play in front of second base. So 5 infielders, 2 outfielders with the outfield in. And there's Cameron, who's now on the infield. First pitch to Venable. He was geared up for the 94-mile-per-hour fastball and could not connect.
And he got the fastball right down the middle. Dunn challenging Will Venable.
Line to right. Over the head of Stanton. The Padres win it in walk-off fashion and sweep the 4-game series for Florida. Well, Venable got the Padres going today with the leadoff homer in the first, and he ends the game with what will go as a walk-off RBI single, in the Padres, on the day of Trevor Hoffman's retirement ceremony, win it 4-3.
He got a breaky ball. First pitch fastball, blew it by him. He stayed on it nicely. The outfield drawn in. And Hot Rod Hundley comes around with the game winner. That is some kind of night.
We'll be back to wrap it up. A Padres